Welcome to In the Closet.
We're back.
We're back. And
What are we talking about today?
we're going to talk about dreams. Not dreams that come true. Maybe they do, but dreams that you have when you go to bed at night.
I'm a dreamer.
When you fall asleep. Angie's a dreamer. I think all of us are.
Well, I mean, everybody dreams. Everybody has dreams.
Right. I don't remember my dreams very often. Sometimes I do. And when I do, it's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
It's kind of cool, I guess.
I mean, I remember them and they're spotty, but it's like you remember your dreams in detail.
Sometimes I do.
Well,
I mean, a lot of times I do.
Sometimes you do. It's crazy, but
yeah.
you've had some insane dreams lately.
I've had some really crazy dreams lately, and not only have I had crazy dreams lately, but they have crossed over into, I guess, kind of like reality. Like, it's so really kind of weird.
It is weird.
Right? Should I just tell one?
Tell one.
Okay.
Let's talk about
So
it.
the one that kind of has crossed over into reality, which really kind of creeps me out a little bit. So it was a few weeks ago, I guess. I had this dream that, it was me and Jeff and the kids. I think there was other people there, but anyway, we were out in this field. I don't know if we were having a picnic or whatever, but out of nowhere comes this white tiger with black stripes, which is kind of rare, right? You know, usually when you think of tigers, you think of your traditional tiger. Well, this one
if
was...
you say tiger, I'm not thinking white tiger.
No. This one was bright white with black stripes. It was very distinct. And it comes charging at us. And what we think is going to attack us. And the kids run off somewhere, and you kind of stay because it was running at me. And I turned...
I'd have been out, bro. I'd have been like, kids, go! We'll find another mom. Just kidding.
So and as soon as it gets more towards me, it backs off a little bit, but jumps on my back. So I'm holding this white tiger on my back like a piggyback riding this thing.
Right.
But he's not aggressive. It's not hurting me. It's just on my back, like heavy weight on my back. And so we stood there for a while, and you were like, don't move, Ange, don't move. And I'm trying to remember this because it's been a couple weeks. But anyway, don't move, because if you move, it might attack, right? So I did. I stood there for whatever. And then I said, Jeff, you're going to have to try to get this thing off because it's getting really heavy. Like, I'm really having a hard... Because it was dead weight. And I said, I'm having a real hard time holding this tiger. And you said, just slowly sit down. And I said, okay. So I, slowly sat down so I could at least have some of the weight off. Well, I sat down, Jeff came over, and he said, I'm going to start trying to pry, his paws off. And mind you, he's not acting aggressive at all. It's not like he's batting at us or growling or anything. So as Jeff tries to pry one of his claws off, I feel, not in an aggressive way, but I feel his nails go down in me. Like, no, I'm not. You can't take, he wasn't going anywhere. So I was like, ow, 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 because he wasn't trying to be mean, but it was like he wasn't leaving.
Question.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you,
That's
but
okay.
You keep referring to him as a he. Did he have a penis in your back?
No, I'm just saying, when I think of a tiger, I think, that's disgusting, but I think when I think of certain animals, I think of them in certain genders. Like a big, bold animal like that, I just say
always a
he.
male. Yeah.
Right? I guess
Right.
if it were something more, I just feel like the tiger is a masculine animal. I know there are female tigers, obviously, but for whatever reason, I just keep saying he. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
are lions males and tigers females?
You might be right. Is that how it... Wait, how is it?
I don't know. I'm not like a animal biologist or whatever they
Now
are.
I gotta Google this.
But for some reason that came to mind. But maybe not. I may be way off. Maybe I'm just lost. And it was a question for me, asking you that I don't know why I'm asking you, because you're going to have no clue.
It says, though, male and female tigers, I think it's there are behaviors that, I guess, male... If a wild tiger is seen with a cub in tow, it's almost certainly a female. Okay, so I guess there are. Okay, I just needed to know that. Anyway, so as Jeff's trying to pry his claws off me, he's digging it. So I was like, just stop. Just let me do it. And you were like, okay, so I stood back up. You went inside this door at this time. I said, let me just handle this. Let me just get it myself. And so you went inside the door for a minute, like this door to a building. But it was kind of a glass door.
I probably had to pee or something.
And no, I told you to go away, that I had it.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I kind of just started wiggling like my shoulders a little bit and just trying to like, as I was wiggling, I was just trying to like push his claws off me. And he finally released. But when he released, he like stayed at my side. And you were behind the door. You were like, just move slow. So I moved slow. And as I walked really slowly, he like walked in between my legs like a cat would. Like just with me. And I got close to the door. I went in the door real quick and I shut the door. So the tiger was on the other side of the door. And then he started batting at the door like he wanted to get in, like with his paw.
Right.
And then sat outside of the door and cried like a puppy would. And that's all I remember.
That's weird.
Right. So we started researching what does it mean to dream about a
White tiger.
white tiger. Hold on, I lost it. Something else came up that I was researching.
White tigers.
White tiger dreams. And it says in dreams, it may mean that you need to think about your plan of attack on a situation. Dreaming of a white tiger, tigers are not common. Well, white tigers are not common in the wild. And so in a dream, this may mean something is of special importance. A white tiger, where did it go?
You having trouble with your Google machine there?
Yeah. I lost it.
Welcome to 2020. Those are iPhones.
I know, right? It's not being chased. Dreaming of tigers. I don't know. I lost it. Oh, here it is. Understanding me, whatever. I lost it. But anyway, it's basically saying that I am going to have the big situation in my life, I guess, is what it was saying. Well, here's the weird
that
part.
you have to deal with, and that's saying you need to prepare for.
Right. I get what...
Attack or whatever.
Sorry, I'm trying to find what I had a big thing here. But anyway,
that's what he said.
Here's the weird thing about the dream. Okay, so basically it was saying a big situation you're going to have to handle is coming up. Here is where it gets weird. A few days later, my mom brings over a box of pictures that I would want of like middle school, high school, college, a big box of them.
Right.
So Jeff and I are going through these pictures at night because I'm trying to categorize them and put them in piles and everything. We're going through them, we're reminiscing and everything. And out of nowhere, there's no other pictures of animals in this entire box of pictures. Out of nowhere is a picture, kind of ripped a little bit, of a white tiger with black stripes.
Yes.
To me, that's weird. That's not
from like the Cincinnati Zoo or something way back in the day.
Yeah, it was obviously from the zoo way back in the day because the picture looked a little bit older. Obviously,
and I feel like
it was not.
I've seen it before.
I haven't. Obviously, it wasn't out in the wild because I have not been on any safaris that I know of. My point is, sure, I went on many zoo trips growing up, but there was not one other picture of a zoo animal or any animal of that matter in the entire box. And it was a white tiger with black stripes. It means something.
It's crazy. So
I have it pinned up on a little like frame thing on my dresser just so I can keep my mind sharp. Because apparently I'm going to have to act on this big situation is what it says. What do you think about that?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I think that it's weird.
Well, we've established that.
I think that it's strange that you... Here's the problem with the whole thing. It's hard for me to be skeptical of any of this or call you a liar, which I wouldn't anyway. But I might be thinking, what you think? Unfortunately, you had the dream, and I was here. You had the dream well before those pictures came in.
Well, yeah.
And the dream was like pretty crazy, and we're trying to figure out what in the world it meant.
Right.
And look at all kinds of situations. But then it's like those pictures come in. We're going through it, and you like hold it up because I'm going through a stack of pictures. Going through a stack of pictures. We're having one of those nights. It's just fun to reminisce. And then you hold this up and you go, "Oh my God, look at this! It's just a freaking picture of a white tiger with nothing else in it."
It's crazy.
It was crazy.
Here's what I was trying to find. It says to see a white tiger in your dreams represents an aspect of your personality that has unquestioned power. issues or people, or it means issues or people that have total power over you. White tigers often symbolize a problem or powerful fear that you'll do absolutely everything to avoid confronting. A white tiger may also reflect a powerful misconception you have. So, I mean, I'm sitting here racking my brain. You know, there's some things that I can think of. Maybe that could mean that I don't really want to get into here. But it's interesting. And I think that, yes, dreams are your subconscious. I think that's what we've, researched before. It's your subconscious thinking. But I really think that you have dreams sometimes to warn you of situations to come or help you prepare for situations to come. Do you agree?
I agree. Yeah.
I really
think
do.
that our brains, but I think the dreams are a product of us and our brains figuring out a way to protect us or to warn us, because we only use like 10% of our brain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're thinking or you're anxious or things are going in your head about different situations all day. We think too fast and too many thoughts to capture everything. But our subconscious captures it. And then
Right.
you go to sleep and your subconscious stays working, I think.
Right.
And so it's pumping out these thoughts and things in the way it delivers it to you. And I know nothing about dreams. I'm just talking about this like the way I logically think that it could happen. Like your brain is trying to process things, but also it's your brain and it's trying to
Right.
speak to you in a way
Right.
on what you may have to deal with or what's going to happen or give you some instincts, I guess.
Right. Well, it also says the spiritual meaning of a tiger is a white tiger specifically. It's as a spirit animal, the meaning is said to be willpower, courage, and personal strength. Tiger skin in Tantric Buddhism represents the transformation of anger into wisdom and insight, and is thought to protect the mediator from outside harm or spiritual interference. Anyway, so that's it. Really, basically, all I want to say about that. But that picture means something to me now, and I just am keeping it close just so I can remember to be on my defense. Then, a few nights later, I need to write these down. A few nights later,
them on a podcast so you can go back and listen to them.
True. I had another crazy, weird dream that I was in, almost like on a stage, but the only people out there were, something was tickling me, were my family, again, my immediate family and a few other people. And I had all these like metal rods in my head. Think of acupuncture, okay? But they're like metal rods, like that are thick, not just little pins and needles, right?
Yeah.
But think acupuncture. So I had all these in my head, okay? And there was a lady standing there, and she was like, you need to slowly take these rods out of your head. And everybody's out there watching. And she said, it will not hurt. You're just going to feel pressure. Just pressure.
That's what they always tell you.
It will not hurt.
They always tell you that.
My
They
bra's
lie.
bothering me. I'm going to take it off.
Yes.
Free the
Dreams and brawlessness.
Anyway, she said it's just going to be pressure. It should not hurt. And I was like, okay. She said, start with this one on the very top of your head to the right. I said, okay. So I started pulling it. And when I started pulling, I was like, it hurts. And she's like, it's not supposed to hurt. She's like irritated with me.
Right.
And I'm like, but it does hurt. She said, go ahead and keep pulling it out. So I'm pulling this thing out of my head. And as I pull it out, there's like tendons and flesh and blood dripping from this rod from my head. And she's like, oh, that's not normal. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not normal? She was like, there's not supposed to be anything on there. And I was like, ah. So I was like freaking out. She goes, get the other one on top. So I go to the other one on top. Now the first one on top, I just felt coming from my actual head, right? The second one over here, I started pulling on it, and not only did it hurt, but it was coming from my gut, like deep down inside. Like I could feel it in my belly button, the pressure and pulling, and it hurt. And as I was pulling it, I felt it up through my throat, and I started throwing up this brown, like, it looked like diarrhea is what it looked like, but it was brown. And I'm pulling this out, and it's all brown, and I'm throwing up this brown crap. She was like,
disgusting.
that's not normal. And like, I remember looking out and seeing everybody that I knew that was there, like, in like, awe, like, what is happening? And I'm like freaking out. She was like, pull the other ones out. So I pulled the other ones out from the side of my temples and the very back of my head. Those did not hurt at all. It was totally fine. totally fine.
Totally fine.
And that's all I remember. So as I wake up, and I get up, and I go get the coffee.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, this is very weird. I go get a coffee, and I come back upstairs, and I was like, Jeff, I had this crazy dream. He's like, tell me about it. So I started telling him. And as I'm describing the dream, and I go to reach for the top of my head to describe the dream, like pulling things on my head, I grabbed the top of my head, and I was like, oh, my head is sore. Like, my head on the top was sore. Like a bruise sore.
Right.
Like, ladies, if you've had a ponytail in too long and you take it out and your hair hurts, it was kind of like that, but I had not had a ponytail in. I didn't sleep in a ponytail. I don't think I had a ponytail on the day before. But then I flashed back and remember waking up after my dream, and my head was against the headboard. And I remember putting a pillow to make it not hurt as much. So I guess during my dream I was tensing up and I was pushing my head again.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I wish we could have a video camera when I sleep. I mean, it must be so, because you sleepwalk. I have these weird dreams, apparently, do crazy things in my dreams.
We could be a sleep study, for sure.
We could be a sleep study. So that was that dream. Not sure what that means. I didn't ever Google pulling metal rods out of your head. I'm not sure that I would find anything. But what do you take of that dream?
Well, it sounds like that you had, like, the one rod. You had two that hurt?
Yes.
Two that hurt. Okay. So you have something in the one was attached to your gut or down into the center of you.
Like my belly button.
And then the other one was in your head.
Right.
So you had to get, maybe it's extracting something from your life or your head.
Maybe.
And your gut that's going to suck. But you got to get it out. And you just got to do it.
Here, let me just tell you this. It says having dreams about metal in your head. That's what it says. A dream of a single metal bar could also denote self-awareness. It could be that you are feeling a threat to your life, whereby people around you are causing you to feel nervous. Okay. All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Metal featured in dreams is connected to our inner feelings in waking life. Metal in a dream state can be an object that is typically shining hard. Well, we know what metal is, though. If you dream about using sheet metal, that's not what I want. Anyway.
How do you get specific with metal in your dream? We're talking about metal people.
I don't know. But anyway, I just thought that was really weird. What's happening to me? Hold on.
You have some really weird dreams, and anytime you've got metal rods in your head, it calls for concern as far as I'm concerned.
I just don't. I don't get it, but
those are weird freaking dreams. This one with the whole you're on display in front of the people you love and care for, and that care for you and love you.
Yeah.
And gosh, who knows what the heck's going on? Who knows what that means?
I must be crazy.
Well, that's been established. I mean, that was established a long time ago.
Listen. Sorry, I'm reading something.
You're very distracted. Are you reading about dreams?
Yeah.
Well, that's the topic, so that can be acceptable.
It says to dream of things made of metal represents something about you or your life that you are confident about being strong. Confidence and security. Strength of character. Feelings about behavior or some area of your life that is protective of staying the way it is. Some areas of your life that doesn't cancel easy or takes a concerted effort to change or damage. Some area of your life that isn't going to break easily. Quality of character or feelings about the strength of that personality trait. So
that's very interesting. I have never in my life thought about Googling what does metal mean in a dream? In any form, whether it be a rod, sheet metal.
Well, I mean, it says negatively, metal reflects dangerous behavior or bad intentions that are extremely difficult to change. Anyway, I am a mess, apparently.
Well, just keep dreaming. I mean, quit dreaming. I read the other day what it says one of those psychological fact things that I saw that I read. It had the dreams on there. There's someone about dreams that started this conversation.
Yeah.
When I said, what was it about that? What was it? You're like, ooh, that's interesting. Like when you're dreaming something. When you're dreaming.
I don't remember.
Oh no, it's when you're awake in the middle of the night, that means you're in somebody else's dream.
That is weird.
If you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're awake,
I'm in somebody's
that
dream
means
every
you're
day
in
at
somebody's
3:30.
dream. That's what it said. It also said the colder your room, the more likely you are to dream.
That's what it was. I am awake almost every night between 3:30 and 4:30, so I'm haunting somebody every night.
You are, man. She's setting her alarm to haunt that mofo, whoever it is. It's probably me. Am I laying there like twisting and turning, like, get out of my head?
Oh, there's another dream I could tell you about. I'm trying to text Brooke to see if she's available to come in here and help, but she's not answering. This is really creepy. Listen to this. I kid you not. I swear on anything that is holy and good on this earth. Okay. Brooke is spending the night at a friend's house. I wish she could be in here right now.
She's not.
I know, but she can tell it. We need to tell it together. Let me see if I can call her.
Well, you can retell it together. Retell it together.
Well, just give me a second.
You know what?
The people need to know this.
Don't put me in a mood.
Oh, don't even. If she doesn't answer, I'll just do it the best I can. I'll try to do it justice. Okay, she's not answering. She must be doing something. Anyway, she's at a friend's house and she has this dream, and she very rarely dreams as well. I mean, she dreams some, but not like I do. But she, something about they were in the car. They were having a car accident. The car was out of control. The car crashed in, and the car came through the fireplace in our family room, and that's where it landed. And I think some of her friends died, and she survived. Like, she was alive. And she said all she could do is open her eyes, and she said, "Mom." Like that.
Right.
Like, "Mom." Okay. That morning that she woke up from the dream, this is why it's hard to explain. I was getting ready, as I always do, and I was walking out of our bedroom, and it was an early morning. I was leaving around. It was like close to 6 o'clock, and I was getting socks out of my drawer, and I vividly, beyond the shadow of a doubt, heard Brooke say, "Mom," and I was like, I turned my head and looked towards the door because it was dark in her room. I looked towards the door to see what she wanted, and then I was like, Brooke's not even here. I'm crazy.
Right.
So that night she's telling me the dream, and she said, "I yelled your name, Mom." And I was like, oh my gosh. And I got chills immediately. And I said, "Brooke, what time did you wake up?" She was like, "Just before 6. If that doesn't creep you out, like, she said "Mom" in her dream, and I heard it, what I'm thinking, around the same time. She was talking to me through her dream. I heard it easily. Maddie wasn't here. She's at college. Kaylee wasn't here. Definitely wasn't Nate.
Right, I remember nobody was here that day. I remember you saying that.
It was the craziest thing.
It's pretty nuts, the stuff that happens, especially with you.
Like, how do you explain that?
And the crazy thing about you, it's like easy to get timelines with you because you're so routine oriented.
Right.
Like, you do the exact same thing at the exact same moment. Like, if I wanted to,
Right.
you know, with your routine, it's like, okay, well, she's brushing her teeth at 5:57
Right.
every morning because that's where it ends up being.
Right.
So, I mean, when you say it was 6, it was 6.
Yeah, I mean,
that's when you're...
It just was, we were telling the story, and Maddie and her friends were over that night, and they were, like, freaking out. They're like, "You all are creepy."
It's wild, though, because you guys are super tight, and...
We are really tight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, have you had any dreams that were like, whoa, that you can remember?
Mm-mm.
Really?
I don't remember my dreams, and the ones I do remember are horrible. I wake
Yeah.
up sick.
Yeah.
Like somebody close to me dies, like you
Yeah.
die, or my mother dies, or my father, or my brother.
I hate those kind of dreams.
Those, I wake up sick. Like, it's so
I
vivid.
know, I hate
those. Are the
those.
only ones I ever remember because they freaking wake me up. The other ones, I mean, I kind of remember stuff like, what was I doing? Oh, I didn't tell you about the dream the other night I woke up to.
Ooh, tell me.
We were having a birthday party, but I have no idea whose it was.
Probably mine.
Probably. But The Rock was here. He was
was
celebrating
mine.
the birthday party
Yeah,
with us.
of
And he
course.
was here, and he was just getting everybody pumped. And we were just having a blast, and he was just pumping us up like he was our best friends. And so that was kind of cool. And he had his shirt off the whole time. It was weird because nobody else did.
Yeah. If The Rock comes into my house, it's required. You take your shirt off.
Yeah,
And anything
I'm
else you
sure.
want to take off.
Well, let's calm down. It's a party.
It's a party.
Not that kind of party.
Oh.
But it was
Well,
interesting.
well-
So those are the kind of dreams I have and remember. So I do remember that one because I forced myself to remember it. Like I sat up and I go, you got to tell Angie this. The Rock was hanging out with y'all at the house.
Right.
And I have stupid ones like that. And then I can't remember.
I had a stupid dream once that it was a long time ago because I used to have a crush on Ludacris. Not so much now.
Yeah, you did.
But I did back when we lived in Atlanta. And I had a dream I was walking down the sidewalk in Atlanta, and Ludacris came by, and he did a double take. And this is before I worked out. I was not it. I'm not it now, but I'm just saying, like, I was not in shape at all. I was not in shape. And he turned around, he's like, "Hey," and I said, "What?" I just said, "What?" to Ludacris, like, "What?
Like, who are you?
What?" And he was like, "I need you to be in my music video. You have good legs." That's all I remember. That's all I remember. But I think we should tell before we go one or two things, and I'll let you pick because one you might not be comfortable with. We can tell kind of a version
I
of
get
it.
to pick. Okay.
A version of it. Obviously, won't go into grave detail because it's kind of personal. Or I can tell how I used to have a recurring nun dream. I can tell that, or I can tell why we just got these tattoos, kind of in a roundabout way. It's kind of like a dream. It's not a dream, but it's like a weird coincidence in life. So it kind of goes along with dreams. I can tell the version that I'm telling people why we got these. I don't tell people detail because it's a very personal thing between us. But curiosity might be out there. Or I can tell the nun dream.
No, I've heard the nun dreams 4 million times. So
You have, I know, but
that's what I'm
people
saying.
haven't.
I would rather hear this.
Okay, so Jeff and I just got matching tattoos.
I know. Roll your eyes.
We did.
Whatever.
We had been talking
They're not
about
totally matching. They're in different spots and they're different styles.
if I tell this wrong, we can always just. Anyway, we've been talking for a few months now for wanting to get another matching tattoo. We have how many matching tattoos? We have 1, 2.
Well,
We have 2 matching ones.
basically,
Our ring fingers.
we have 3 now.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about before.
We had 2 before.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The ring fingers, and then we have 1991 and Roman numerals I have it on different parts of our body because that's the year we started dating. Okay, so we said, well, let's do another one because we like to do those things together. But we couldn't figure out what in the world to do. You don't want to just go get a tattoo. It's got to be something, especially if you're getting a matching tattoo with something that has to mean something. So Jeff and I have been going through this issue, as everybody does in marriage. There's just one particular issue that we're dealing with that's pretty significant. But hey, it happens.
Finally getting a penis reduction.
Oh my gosh, whatever. So Jeff, was it the same day? Was it the same day or the day before you went to visit
day
your?
before.
Okay, so
The day
Jeff went to
before.
visit his. Can I share this?
Yeah.
Jeff went to visit his grandfather's grave, which is coincidentally right down the street from us, basically walking distance. And he hadn't visited his grave for a long time, and he went to talk with him about it, about the situation. Well, his grandfather married us, right? He was the pastor of the church that we got married in, so he married us. He counseled Jeff and I a lot, talked to us about everything, and we were both pretty, obviously Jeff was way closer, but I'm just saying we were close to him. So he's a special man to us. And he hadn't talked to him in a while, so he went and he said, blah, blah, blah is going on. Please help us. Please help us. And got emotional about it and everything. Well, he came home as he was gone. I think it was the same day, wasn't it? Was it the same day or was it the next day?
It wasn't the same day because that was Saturday.
That you did that?
You're at one place.
Monday was when it happened to me.
I went to another place and I was sitting there and then
Monday?
I came home. No, it was Saturday. I came home and stopped on the way home.
Okay. So, but you hadn't told me about it.
I didn't tell you about it.
Okay. So, this particular Monday, I took the morning off and I just needed to reflect on everything and just try to be to myself. So, I'm sitting in the chair that I sit in by our fireplace. And there's a window beside it, and I felt like a presence by the window, and I'm like, what the heck is it? And I turned around, and I saw this red cardinal on this pallet that we have propped up outside the window, just sitting on the pallet looking in, not at me, probably at its reflection, because birds like that. But it was still weird. And it would fly away onto our deck, and it would fly back to the pallet and look in the window. Fly away. This went on for a minute.
And it's cold.
And it's cold.
It's February.
It's February.
Right.
I mean, birds, I don't know. So I looked up the meaning of, I was like, what does it mean? Because I'm always looking up meanings for stuff, just like I do in dreams.
Right.
What does it mean, a red cardinal mean? I thought I heard it before, that it signifies someone from that's passed on is visiting you to try to tell you something or to comfort you or to be with you or to get your attention. Okay.
To get your
It also means
attention.
some other things that I'm not going to go into. But anyway, so Jeff came home and I was like, you know what? The weirdest thing just happened. A red cardinal, and I told a story, and he just like didn't totally break down, but got kind of emotional and was like, Ange, on Saturday, I went to visit my grandfather's grave and asked him to help us through this situation.
And granted, listen, I haven't been to my grandfather's graveside for years. And I was pulled in there. I'm telling you, I'm not now all this stuff we're talking about, I'm the first one, if you listen to this podcast, that I'm questioning this stuff.
Right.
Like I'm the skeptic. I'm the guy that's saying whatever, what part of this is being like forced. Well, I'm telling you, I never think to go in there. I pass that graveyard multiple times a day.
Every time we go in and out of the neighborhood.
Never crosses my mind. I was coming home that Saturday. I was broken. And it just hit me and it said, because you got to understand, my grandfather's my best friend.
Right.
I talked to him about all kinds of stuff. I talked to him about everything. And he was never judgmental.
Right.
Even with the bad, like he never was judgmental of me or people in my life or anybody is crazy. And he's this great man, a pastor. And I always could talk to him. And so I just had this thing saying, hey man, you don't have anybody to talk to about this.
Right.
Nobody. Go talk to Pawpaw. So I pulled in there and I pled with him.
Yeah.
Begged him. I just said, help us. Be with us. Do something. And that's the short version.
Right.
But then I came home and I just kind of want to give that because it's so significant that I don't ever go and do that. I don't think I've ever really done that.
Right. So the point is, the red cardinal came. I saw it. It came Tuesday morning as well. Jeff missed it again. So we decided that that's the tattoos we were getting. Different versions. We have different versions of a red cardinal. Jeff has a tattoo of a tree on his shoulder, so his cardinal's perched on a branch. Mine is just on my chest, kind of like my shoulder blade, I guess, chest area.
Your upper chest.
Upper chest. And it's a different version, but that's that. So it's good. It's significant. It means something. It's very special. And I love when stuff like that in life happens. That's why I told all these stories, because they're all parallels. And, through dreams, through circumstances, through what we think are coincidences in life, sometimes I just don't think they're coincidences. We've talked about that before. I'm more of a believer in stuff like that than Jeff is, I think. But, yeah, sometimes there are coincidences. But I think sometimes things in life are way bigger than that. And I think this situation and my dreams that I'm having are way bigger than just a coincidence. I think that tiger being in the box is way bigger coincidence. You may think it's a coincidence, but I think it's way much more than that.
Well, it's a very rare coincidence. The percentage chances of, it's crazy. Just like,
it's not like I dreamed about a bear and then we found a picture of a bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a different type of animal. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I love dreams. I could talk about dreams all day.
But anyway, you didn't finish. I stopped you because I wanted to show the significance of me talking to my grandfather. You're getting ready to say, you told me I stopped you because you said, and Jeff came home, or no, then I told Jeff this, and then he said, Ange. Remember, I said...
Oh, yeah. Jeff said, Ange, I just went to my grandfather's grave and told him to help us through all this. And then that's when is that what you mean? And that's when I signified that that had to be...
You didn't know that I'd done that.
No, I had no clue.
You didn't know, because you even said to me, you said, I left this part out because I didn't think it was significant, because I didn't think anybody was visiting us.
I didn't think I didn't even think of it like that. I thought, it was just a coincidence. You know what I mean? I thought maybe it was just a coincidence. But when you told me you went to visit your grandfather,
right.
When I put it all together, like, oh no, this is not a coincidence. This is actually life, the universe, God, whoever, whatever, talking to us right now.
Yeah, and that's my thing in life. It's just don't limit things. I'm getting better at not limiting things.
Yeah.
By putting it in a box. And
right.
That's what frustrates me about religion.
Yeah. Oh, don't go there.
I'm not going to. We don't have time. But to put it in a box is just dangerous.
Oh.
You're limiting.
Yeah.
You might be limiting God.
Right. So all of this has helped us, and it's just been pretty an amazing week so far. So
it has. So
I could talk about
hey,
dreams all day. We'll be doing this again because I have more dreams. We got to interpret dreams. And if anybody has any dreams they want to come on the podcast to talk about, I love it. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. Dreams and music and like paranormal stuff. I like stuff like that.
Let's do it. Let's
All
have
right.
some paranormal guests.
Well, not really. I mean, like paranormal like freaks me out a little bit, but I'll talk about it.
All right.
All right, that's it.
Good night, all.